Afternoon everyone, Ian from DIY Home Gardening. 21st of January. It's been cold, it's been wet, it's been windy, it's been snowy, well a little bit, it's been heavy frost. So my video is not really for in the garden, but it's a greenhouse one. So let's get inside and have a look. Okay, so as I was saying, you know, in the UK, particularly, well, the January, February months, they are always cold, wet, emphasis on wet. And there's certain things really hate the wet. And one of them being Fritillaria. So these are the Crown Imperial Fritillaria types. So let me turn the camera around and show you what we're dealing with. So much like with my gladioli and dahlia, I lift the Fritillaria in the autumn time. And yes, they are hardy if you've got ground that is free draining. And I haven't. You know, it is particularly wet, as I say, and gets cold. So what I tend to do, I just stick all the bulbs into a cardboard box, normally with newspaper wrapped around them, but for some bizarre reason, I don't know why, this year I didn't. I stuck them in a box and I never got around to putting any newspaper around them, and as a consequence you can see what has happened. There's a couple of them have really suffered from getting damp. Well, they must have been still damp when they went into the box, and as a consequence, the newspaper not being there hasn't absorbed that excess moisture, so that one is a write-off. This one, what I've done, what you can see there, is I've removed all of the obvious rotten scales, still leaving me with this part that is healthy, producing root. So as I say, they don't go into the ground. For me, I overwinter them, and then at this time of year, what I do, I get them out to the pot, out to the box, because as you can quite clearly see, they are breaking dormancy, trying to grow at a rate of knots. But because I know that the weather forecast right up until I get to about March is still too variable, I tend to pot them up. So just using multi-purpose compost, there's a few already done. Just using multi-purpose compost, pot them into some 1 litre pots, or 13 centimetre. So about a third full of compost. Put the plant in, put the bulb in, and you can see that, and these are a good size, good age, of the fact that you've got 2 sections of growth here, and both of those will carry flower. So at this time of year, you can tell kind of what they're going to be doing. So firming around the sides, making sure you've got no air pockets, because the air pockets will be the bit that holds excess moisture around the bulb, and we don't want that. Top up, lightly firm, and into the tray they go. So we've got this last good one, and then that one. Now I will still plant that one. Now when these are growing nicely within the pots and they have got visible growth, and we're into March, which is when I know that I can safely plant them outside, what I will do is I will then plant them not necessarily as they are straight into the hole, but I'll do a mixture of soil going into the hole. So it'd be a mixture of compost and possibly a little bit of grit mixed in as well, depending where they're going, and that's just going to provide that drainage that's needed. So the main bulbs are done, we're not worried about those. Now I've got all these little bulbils, So these all came about from when I was lifting the bulbs, and you end up with some small ones. You can kind of feel the ones that are good, and obviously stuff where it's already producing root, good to go. So it has a more pointy end that needs to be uppermost, and so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to set some of these out into that pot. It doesn't matter about spacing too much, I just want them to be able to get growing really. And let's stick another one in there, stick that in there. So what have we got there? 7 of those, 7 small bulbs, and they can grow. And once again, when I see foliage across the top of those, hopefully like a little pot of cress, then I'll be able to knock those out of the pot and divide them up. I'll plant them separately, or repot them, I should say, repot separately into individual pots. I won't plant them into the ground along with the other big ones, but they will go into individual pots. So then each one of those 7 will give me a new decent sized bulb, and that will help just replenish these ones that well, quite frankly, I should have taken better care of. So nice quick video on how I set up my Fritillaria in the spring, and those are Rubra. So that's it. Nice simple video on how to pot your Fritillaria, or how I pot my Fritillaria I should say. Just ensuring that I get ahead of the game when it comes to the plants getting established, and without without losing any more than I already have to the weather. And as was pretty obvious from the start of the video, they really hate sitting wet. So yeah, if I can lose a couple of bulbs just in the dampness of a cardboard box, imagine what would happen if I planted those into the clay soil that I have. So if you've got any questions, then please send the questions to me. I'll always do my best to answer them for you. If you've liked the video, then please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that reminder button so you don't miss out on the future videos. And I always say it, but it's just so true. Enjoy yourself, enjoy what you're doing, have fun, try something different. And you know, if it means trying to grow Fritillaria as you're something different and they look bloody amazing, then perhaps try them. Till next time, bye for now.